there were a couple times where I feel like I was getting hurt on purpose. I was getting stiffed. But I never said anything, never complained about it. And that's why when this was brought to my attention, like the whole turn and going with Shane, it was like a weight was lifted off my shoulder. I was like, oh.
All right. Gonna go right now. This is an Eyes Up Here YouTube Extra. This is an Eyes Up Here YouTube Extra, possibly one of the most monumental dates in the Queen of Extreme's history. And we're going to talk all about it. If you didn't know by now, my name is Chad. And every single time we go here live on this YouTube Extra, I'm joined here by the Queen of Extreme herself, one Francine.
Hello. Hello, hello.
How's it going?
It's going. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm thrilled to talk about this. I don't think we've ever watched this.
I thought we did.
Did we? I don't know if we ever watched like this much of it then. I don't remember ever talking about the full like match. Maybe we talked about like the actual turn, but I don't know if we talked about or watched this part of it, but we're talking about your big moment there.
Yeah. So, going back to me being with Gary and Anthony, the Pit Bulls, I had no knowledge at first that I was, going to move on or leave those guys. I was uncomfortable wearing the pleather. I hated it. But I picked it because they wore it, right? And there was some tension with Anthony because, not getting into the whole realm of things, but he just thought that, we were going to be a little closer, I suppose. And I didn't want any parts of that. I wanted to keep it strictly platonic and businesslike. And, there were a couple times where I feel like I was getting hurt on purpose. I was getting stiffed. But I never said anything, never complained about it. And that's why when this was brought to my attention, like the whole turn and going with Shane, it was like a weight was lifted off my shoulder. I was like, oh, this is awesome. I get to like go away from these people. Now I shouldn't say people because I loved Gary. Gary was great, but I thought I was going with Brian Lee because Brian Lee was pitching to Paul to make me his manager. And he was like, you're going to be in chaps and you're going to be a biker. And I was like, great, I'm going from pleather to leather chaps. This is great, but I would have loved a chance to work with Brian Lee because he was so fun. Like, for those of you who don't know anything about Brian Lee, funniest guy ever outside of the ring. Such a joy to be around. Good times, but when Paul approached me and said, do you know what we're doing? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to go with Brian Lee. And he goes, who told you that? And I was like, Brian Lee. And he's like, don't listen to Brian Lee. And I go, oh, okay. And he explained to me what we were going to do. So if you're watching the show and keeping up with the timeline, you'll see there's one instance where I walk Anthony to the ring and we are in the aisleway and Shane is in the ring and Shane is just calling me these derogatory names. And I tell Anthony, you stay here. And I go in the ring and I smack Shane across the face and he gives me the belly to belly. And then there was another instance where I think like Shane was going to the ring, but he leans in the curtain as to somebody saying something to him, and that supposedly is supposed to be me, but I don't know how many people caught that, but Paul was like, did you notice that? And I was like, well, yeah. And he's like, that's supposed to be you. And I was like, huh, I didn't get that. Like, so all these progressions leading to this big turn. And, Shane tells this great story about the night that he came back to visit and how timid I was doing my promos with the pit bulls. And he pulled me aside to give me some pointers. And that's when Paul kind of saw this spark between us talking. And Paul didn't even hear our conversation because he wasn't close by to listen. I guess he just saw body language and the way we were speaking, like interacting with each other. And that's when he knew that him and I were going to be this duo. And I don't remember this happening, but Shane tells the story vividly. So I assume it did, but it's fine with me because it's a good story. But it leads to this night, this Four Corners match for the ECW Television Championship. And I remember the guys going over it. It was like an hour-long marathon. And my stuff wasn't till the very end. And yes. I tell you what, I was ready to vomit for the first 50 minutes. I'm like, because I knew I had time, and I was just like, okay, I know what to watch out for. It's the last two guys. It's going to be Anthony and Shane. So I knew. But as I'm watching it go on and stuff, I'm thinking, oh my God, I have to go through a table. And I remember Paul, he waited till the last, like, he might have called me like the Thursday before, or that Friday night before, and was like, do you know what spot you're doing in this Four Corners match? And I was like, no. And he's like, you're going to be the first woman ever to go through a table. And it's going to be the best thing ever. And this is going to catapult you to the next level. And you're going to be so over. And I'm like, shitting. I'm like, what are you talking about? They're going to super bomb you, not power bomb, super power bomb off the top rope. And I'm telling you, the place is going to go nuts. You're going to love it. And I was just like, oh my God. Okay. I was like, okay. Inside, I died a little. I was like, okay, I'm either going to die, I'm going to lose a limb, I'm going to get a concussion, something's going to happen. So as we're in the back, I remember I had the worst stomach cramps. I'm like freaking out. They're going over all their stuff, and all I can think about is me crashing through this table. And I'm just listening to everything because it, 4 guys, an hour, that's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on. I don't think I did anything the first 50 minutes. I think I was just kind of like cheering Anthony on and stuff.
You move around a lot.
Yeah, I'm like getting out of the way.
Yeah, you were moving around like crazy.
They didn't want me to do a lot before the big turn came. And so I was just like, okay, that's fine. But I just remember I had the worst stomach pains. And I don't even know if I ate because I was so nervous. And I was just like, oh man, I'm really nervous. And I just remember Shane going, calm down, it's gonna be okay. And I'm just like, oh, so I was practically like in tears. And I think that's when the whole like, I'm gonna throw up started. And he was just like, you're not gonna throw up. I was like, I'm gonna vomit all over. So we go out there. They do what they need to do. And then, once like the first two, once Chris and Scorp are eliminated, Jericho, I was just like, oh, it's showtime. Let's go. And I was ready, but I was terrified, scared to death.
Well, we're going to see how terrified you really were.
Yeah.
The outcome. So for the sake of time, for the sake of your own personal viewing, you want to go find that full hour, go find it and enjoy.
It's so good.
It's great. It's out there.
So good.
It's a wonderful piece of history, but we are going to pick it up in the hardcore TV version of the show a couple minutes before the turn happens. So for the sake of this full hour that we don't have to watch the full match, we're going to pick it up from this point in the match that I have. And actually, I've even pulled it a little bit further down the timeline. We're going to pick it up with Scorp and Shane here in the ring. Classic rivalry in ECW history, too.
Well, there's a lot left, though. There's a lot left.
Well, we got some. You're on your way, kid. Here we go.
Oh.
Pick it up right here.
All right.
And now it's Scorpio and Douglas. Their feud for the World Television title belt continues here in this elimination matchup.
It's July, by the way, on your calendar. Hot inside this building?
It's scorching inside that building. Disgustingly hot.
The answer obviously no. Scorpio riding the franchise.
I think Shane just passed out from heat exhaustion.
Be very careful. And Douglas is in trouble here. Almost at the mercy of Scorpio, who will have none on him. Headbutt right between the eyes. Reversal. He hit the belly-to-belly suplex, but cannot capitalize. Douglas rolls the wrong way.
It's when all our referees had full heads of hair, by the way.
Douglas heading for the corner.
John Finnegan, full head of hair.
No idea where he is.
That was pretty.
The sunset flip.
Nice. Squirt was so good with his flippity doos.
Unbelievable.
You could probably still go now. And again, I'm just looking on like, okay, I knew I had some time. But once Scorp gets eliminated, it is go time.
He puts Shane on pitbull number 2. He's going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Pin 2 wrestlers in 1 move.
Nice. He just floats like a bird, like a eagle. Like effortless Scorpio. I'm trying to get the crowd involved here. So funny to see how young we are too here.
They figure he's got to be eliminated now. And no man can survive the super bomb. Scorpio
Yeah.
turned inside out.
Nice.
And he's got it. We're down to 2 men. And the franchise wastes no time in going.
Okay, so now I'm thinking to myself, well, they're going to do some spots. But I'm coming up soon. And I'm terrified and I'm sick to my stomach. I know it's coming. And Gary tried to say I was crying when they bring me up for the power bomb or the super bomb off the top, but I was not crying. I was just trying to look like I was in disarray, which I was. That chair didn't have a chance. Oh, here comes a table, and I'm looking at it like, holy crap. There's my table of doom. These tables were so heavy, too.
He really wants to put him away. I mean, Pitbull 2 wants to put Douglas 6 feet under.
Here we go.
And Francine saves Pitbull 2.
Oh, it's a good thing he didn't raise my skirt too much because you would have saw franchise written on my ass. Smooch.
You know, you think the franchise would learn. He's had no luck with women here in ECW.
I had the powder right in my underwear and in my skirt. I got it. It was such a small bag. I wish I would have used a bigger bag. And Anthony's looking like, are you ready? There we go.
Douglas goes downstairs. Francine slaps the pitbull. What the hell is going on here?
Such a good portrayal.
What is she doing?
Slowly, you take off the skirt, and there it is.
I don't believe it.
Maybe that's why I didn't have any spots, because we didn't want my skirt to be shown. The skirt to be raised, actually, to show the panties.
The Pitbull's manager had betrayed them.
Yay.
The Beastmaster.
Gary smacking the shit out of Anthony. I don't know how the hell I walked in those shoes. They were so high.
Pitbull 2 is fired up. The franchise will pay for this betrayal.
I should have ran like hell.
Douglas being bounced around like a Super Bowl.
The table's gonna fall. Yeah.
Takes him to the outside. And can you believe Francine has turned?
I think I smacked Gary. They missed it though, of course.
Did she think she would get away with this?
But now I'm begging for mercy. Please. Gary, I've always liked you. You were my favorite. Please, Gary. Trying to caress his face. Please. He didn't want any parts of it. Get the ref out the ring. He's in the way. Somebody kick him out of the way. It was much louder, too, than this. This isn't doing justice. Way louder. At this point, I'm just like a mess. So scared. And then I was like, I can't wait for it to be over.
This can't be happening. What the hell?
Here we go. And like Bubba said, he didn't think that he had control of my body. He would have kept me tighter. But it is what it is. It's done. Got a huge pop.
Here comes the franchise.
And this is where Gary breaks his neck.
He DDTs Pitbull 1 on that injured shoulder.
Ugh.
This matchup is not over. Pitbull 2 takes the belt between the eyes.
Somebody has the count.
1, 2.
He doesn't get beat by the belt. He doesn't get beat by the chain. He doesn't get beat by the wood. Oh, brutal. Absolutely brutal. Here comes the chain. He's got his own little pouch for it. It's great.
He's got nuts. He connects. Pitbull 2 is out.
Again, kicks out on 2.
What'd I miss?
You missed everything.
No, I watched the whole thing.
He pulled a chain out of his boot. He's wrapping it around his fist.
Oh yeah, here's the chain. What did he? Oh, it was brass knucks. Okay. I love how the chain wraps perfectly around that second rope when he throws it.
What a moment.
There have been like 4 false finishes. A chain, knucks, wood, the belt. He's gigged. But what can't he get out of? The belly to belly. Amazing.
You are a dynamo, by the way. Just the oh, there it is.
Why am I a dynamo?
That unbelievable table spots.
Okay. What did he say? 80,000 minutes, 41 seconds? It was the longest hour of my life. I'll tell you what.
Look at those tights saturated with sweat.
They're filthy.
And dirt.
Yeah. He's filthy. Everybody's filthy. Look at the floor. Hepatitis.
The master plan. Did you have a master plan? Is that your master plan?
All along. I sacrificed my body for him to get that belt. Look how close the guardrails are to the friggin' ring.
Well, to be fair, when the show started, I bet they were at an appropriate length.
It's so close. No, they were close, man.
Were they that close?
They were close.
There she is,
There's
laying on the table.
Dr. Marquis Allen, the foot doctor, come to my assistance.
Oh.
And with that, the dynamic duo were born. Thank you, Shane. And he gives me a little smooch.
Oh. You set the bar for what Extreme is for the next generation of female talents with that bump right there. It was unbelievable to watch it, the crowd explosion. And again, to hear what you said in the lead up of how you felt and you were nervous and you were this and you were that. And then to see just how perfectly executed it was, you wouldn't have thought the thing. You would have thought that was the plan. Like you were naturally just the whole time. You were ready to just go and no nerves at all. That was perfect.
Thanks. Yeah, that was a big night for me. It definitely catapulted me to the next level. The partnership with Shane, I had no idea how much of an impact we were going to have in ECW as a team. Like I said, I knew we had chemistry right off the bat, but my God, it's hard to name, other duos that clicked as well as Shane. I mean, they're out there, don't get me wrong, but from night one, him and I we were just on the same page, and it was such a great partnership. Still is a great partnership. Somebody put up a picture of us then and a picture of us now, because somebody snapped a picture at the last show we were at, and it was just so cute to see. 30 years went by and we're still here. We are in the ring. We're still together and we're still laughing with each other, and it just makes me happy. It's been such a run, and I'm proud of what we did together. I think we did make an impact, not only in ECW, but I think we made an impact in the sport of professional wrestling, period. And I hope the fans agree.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. And for that to be an hour-long match, to keep everybody interested and to save that spot there at the end, that's the impact that you're saying carries you two on into eternity, because you kept everybody interested for an hour, and that's what they remember, is that investment at the end. Is that pew, here? So you go right through, and man, that was so awesome. And I was watching it that whole time, and I was listening to what you said. That was awesome. Very cool. That was the plan the whole time, by the way.
Was it?
Oh, yeah.
Allowed me just talk amongst myself.
For me to freeze, and the whole thing, then just fall off. That was it. Whole time. Yep.
Now I have more respect for Joey Styles, because here I am trying to call shit by myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm sitting here screaming. You heard me. I channeled my inner franchise on my side while I was dealing with my side of issues. It was quite the display.
Yeah, I'm proud of that. It was a good moment, and something I will definitely never forget.
I see why. It's unbelievable.
I feel it every day.
Yes, between the hours of 6 and 7 a.m.
Between the hours of 12 and 12. My back, my neck, my butt, everything.
Just like we've said a million times, if this is the kind of content you'd like to see us do more of, comment. Leave us a message on X or Instagram or wherever else, Facebook. Tell us this is what you like to see. I love looking back at these moments. I love trying to dig into that brain of the Queen of Extreme and get these old memories back and talking about them. So if this is what you like to see and you like to see more of them, please let us know. And even if you'd like to see other moments from ECW or wrestling history, let us know and we'll take care of business.
Sounds good to me. I'm here for it.
All right. Anything else you want to touch on before we get out of here?
Just thanks to all the fans, because without you, I wouldn't be sitting here.
That's right. And on this channel, Queen of Extreme, Eyes Up Here YouTube channel, listen to us on iHeartRadio twice a week. And that's enough out of us. We will get out of here for today. For the Queen of Extreme, the better late than never Chadster, we will catch you on the flip side.